Resorcio. Find, share, create.
So the previous session that we had recently was aimed to help students understand the process of going abroad to study, the difficulties or the ease with which they might face situations out there, especially in the post-COVID scenario. And it was widely accepted and appreciated. And with that confidence, we move ahead to our next virtual summit, which is aimed to help professionals and students. Professionals who are looking for a career change, professionals who are looking to generally be interview prepared to face, to take up upgrades in their career, and to students, of course, who will be facing interviews and plunge into their chosen professional paths. And without any further delay, I would want to introduce our panelists. We have Ms. Smita Nair all the way from UK with us, and we have Mr. Robbins joining us from Trivandrum. So we do have a Q&A session coming up in a while. We already have certain questions posted here. A couple of them have raised their hands. I request all the attendees to post your questions in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen, and we will have Smita and of course Robbins also come in and answer you. And now it's time to introduce Robbins. Mr. Robbins Alapat from Trivandrum. He has been in the industry for over 22 years now, in various capacities, including chairman and managing director for leading IT companies. He has been involved in recruitment, training, inducting, orientation, implementing HR systems and policies, management and corporate training, among several other things. He incidentally happens to be the co-conceiver and co-founder as well as CCO of Seamless Technologies, whose brainchild is our Resorcio product. And he's extremely passionate about training and human interaction. We have much to gain from his insights as well. I now request Robbins to come in and add to what Smita has already told us. Please, Robbins.
Thank you so much, and Radha, you've been very, very generous in introducing me like this. I think Smita has given a wonderful package which is really needed for the youngsters, especially who are freshers in the market, and also people who are looking for like a career change, as well as who are in between jobs. So I don't want to add anything more to that, but rather like, no, I have 2 to 3 interesting questions which are from the candidate's perspective as well as from a recruiter perspective. So I think I will straight away jump into that because there will be a lot of other questions also coming in, so I may not get a chance to add that. So I thought I will jump in right away. One thing is, Smita, you've been talking a lot about, or you've been explaining about that STAR methodology, especially in that competency-based questions. So could you mention 1 or 2 very interesting questions you have seen in your experience, and like, no, or rather some very good answers which you felt very interesting? Because that is something which would help our participants to know what kind of or what are the aspects a recruiter would be looking in when they give an answer. Because people would be really tempted to cook up stories because they know that, okay, I can make a fictitious situation and I can very cleverly fool the recruiters. But it's a kind of misconception. So what exactly is a recruiter or what kind of an answer a recruiter is expecting out of these kind of questions? If you could cite out 1 or 2 interesting questions or interesting answers, I think that would be really helpful for our attendees. Smita.
Questions I can give you a number of questions, but when it comes to the answer, like I said, each person, they have to talk from your experience, right? So there is no specific answer, like I say, correct or incorrect answer for this. Actually, it's like, it's basically try to understand the person if he is good in that particular competency, right? If you say, tell me about a time you had, you have handled a conflict within your team, right? So this is something which nobody can say no, actually, because even as a fresher, maybe in your college days, yes, you had a conflict when you were a part of a team. And so everybody will have an answer for that. Everybody has to say something from their experience. So if you ask me what is going to be the perfect answer, no, like how I have handled might not be the way you have handled not the way Anuradha has handled, right? But that doesn't stop that, okay, hiring me, right? But you just have to be genuine and say, if you don't have an experience, you can't think of anything, just say that you can't think of anything. But I would say from your real time, give an experience. So, but when I say, like I always said, use the STAR methodology. So you say that I was a part, for a fresher, I would say I was a part of this committee and there was difference of opinion and we were not able to come up to a solution. Okay, that is a situation, right? So then I would say, I as a person, what did I do there? Right? Okay, I step in, I thought bring two people, two leaders, get them to a room, talk it out and see what works best, right? Okay, it has to be a win-win situation. Take some of his points, take some of the other person points, and okay, they agreed finally, we worked up it. There are a few things which we worked out. Yes, finally we got it executed and this is the result. Right? So everybody say from their experience, I would say, just a college thing, but in offices, I know there are so many. So there's a recent, somebody has told me about a performance management, when normally there are a lot of conflicts happen when there is a performance review. The manager says, give this rating, and the subordinate, I mean, the supervisor says this thing, and the subordinate says, no, I don't agree to that. There is a conflict there, right? Difference. And then you as an HR person, I can say, how did I step in? Okay, what did I do? What is the approach that I took and how did I solve it? Right. So each person, there's no, this situation-based questions, I don't think we can give a genuine answer saying that this is the perfect answer. It's just the way how you approach the situation and how you solved it and what is the result.
There is a very specific reason why I asked you this question, because while recruiting, you will definitely come across some candidates, at least they will mug up the answers, or they will refer, they will search a lot in Google, YouTube, and they will come with ready-made answers. So that is one advice I would always give to the candidates, like, be yourself. You don't have to know by heart answers, or you don't have to present yourself as the best candidate, because they're not looking for the best candidate, they're looking for the genuine candidate. So it is always better to be yours. I think you also agree with me, Smita, here.
Very much. Because I think when in this kind of interviews, you can find out if you're a smart interviewer, somebody is saying drafting a story, say that you will probe. Okay, so what was the approach of that person? So when you told this, what did the other person say? What was his approach? How did you influence that person? What is the time that you took to convince him? They'll ask question one after the other. So it's not easy. And when you interview, you know that, okay, when the person fumbled, when he's not sure, it's very easy to figure it out. So that's why I said, if you don't have an answer, say don't have an answer, be honest. But say, try to prepare from your real time some of these kind of situations. Be prepared to answer. That's it.
So honesty and being prepared with all possible answers to all possible questions. I think that's the takeaway we have over here.